and welcome back. So today I decided that I'm going to try to make a fairy garden planter. I've been seeing these all over Pinterest and I didn't think I would make one because they usually look a little bit too whimsical for me, and I like something more discreet that looks like a normal planter filled with succulents until you get close to it and you see more of the details. First thing I'm going to do is look for some inspiration pics. So I'm gonna pull up Pinterest. I've decided that I'm going to make the fairy garden using a shallow, wide-brimmed planter. And I think I'm going to go to Home Depot, get some succulents, and maybe find some moss that I can use as well, and make some structures out of like little twigs and use rocks as a little pathway and just see where that takes me. I might have some inspiration along the way or come up with some new ideas. So let's get to it. I'm going to try to film at Home Depot while I'm there using my phone. So the quality might rapidly decrease in a moment. Also, side note, I don't love supporting Home Depot. I think they're kind of a bad company, but unfortunately, they have the cheapest plants in my area, so that's where I'm heading. I loved fairies when I was a kid, a little bit beyond the normal amount of obsession expected for children. My sister would walk me through the woods and point out holes in trees or patches of moss where fairies lived. We would make them little houses out of twigs, or leave acorns on makeshift oak leaf tables, or clear the spiked seed pods that fell from the sweet gum trees so that a fairy wouldn't hurt her feet. During evening phone calls with friends, I would update them on the imaginary landscape of the fairies in my woods, informing of new antagonists or new magical species I had thought of. My favorite movie was Barbie Fairytopia, and my favorite books were fairy puzzles and fairy guidebooks. Eventually, I moved on to an obsession with witches, but the fairies were still in the back of my mind, old friends that I could return to at any moment. Then my interest in witches became an interest in the supernatural, and then eventually I'd outgrown anything imaginary at all, and boys and school friends and life's little dramas filled the space that the fairies had occupied. Now I'm 23 and stuck in a confusing transitional phase of life while I hear back from grad schools and apply for jobs, and it's hard to remember what it is in life that I actually enjoy. So I thought I would trace it back to the source, being outside, assembling nature's scraps, and making something in the unself-conscious way that I did as a child. I've been trying to encourage my inner child and find the confidence and creativity I had back then. I loved to write poems and draw pictures and spend all my time thinking about imaginary places. As an adult, I don't write or draw as much as I used to, and when I do, I find myself frustrated at the page, confused as to why I can't wrestle out the same excitement that I had years ago. If you're finding yourself in the same place that I'm in, I encourage you to find some time in your day to do something that would make your child self happy. It can be something as silly as building a fairy house, or dancing to your old favorite album, or jumping into a puddle. I'm hoping that the more I tend to her, the 8 or 10 or 12-year-old version of me, the more joy I can win back from the things I used to love.
Start your computations.
Go! Huh.
I think we're getting into a weird area here.